Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for tuning in. So today I have a guest with me. We're going to have a chat about the alleged sexual misconduct in regards to an American comedian actor, a comedian, Aziz Ansari. Today we have Draco Versus with us. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
It's good to be here.
So this is one of the very first podcasts. It's just a continuation from my last video, and if you're interested in doing any podcasts with me, there's always ways to do it into like Skype. I'll put a link in the description from my old video, and then we'll go from here. So, have you heard much about Aziz Ansari in terms of this article that's been all over the news in America? So what are your thoughts before we get into like the facts?
Yeah, I've seen this story. I do have a couple of opinions on it. I personally love Aziz Ansari. So I was kind of worried when I first saw the article. I was like, oh Christ, Aziz Ansari is also caught up in sexual misconduct. And I think that's the problem with this article and this story, is that it actually now groups him with those who have been both accused of sexual misconduct and convicted of like really heinous sexual misconduct. So he's now like kind of in that conversation. Yeah, exactly. Like Harvey Weinstein, the others, Russell Simmons from Def Jam, I think, as well, was also caught up in that sort of stuff. So all those
don't even get me into
Kevin Spacey,
Russell Simmons and Kevin Spacey. Of course, no disrespect to anyone in America or anyone in terms of what I'm about to say, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it, if you know what I mean. But I love the fact that Harvey Weinstein is still walking around, eating his what do you call it? His snails and all his fancy things. Exactly. And Russell Simmons, the moment one woman came forward, that man is in jail.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Cops turned
isn't it innocent until proven guilty? But I mean, the guy more than likely did do these heinous things that he's saying. But the terms of with racism at the moment, and you can clearly see the fact that Harvey Weinstein has hundreds of women. Mm-hmm. Potentially, he has actually sexually assaulted. There are so many people who have
come forward in terms of Harvey Weinstein.
Well, put Aziz.
So many. And to put it in context with Aziz Ansari, to get back to the issue.
I was actually going to ask you, before we get into Aziz Ansari, what do you think about how it's been handled? It's still in terms of sexual misconduct, but what do you think how the police have handled the Harvey Weinstein and the Simmons cases?
Yeah,
how
I do think
are they?
There is a big contrast between the two. One, Harvey Weinstein's had plenty of women come forward, and it seems like nothing's being done. It seems like the police are investigating it, but they're taking their sweet-ass time in doing anything about it. So, it doesn't look all that great for the police, especially when they go and arrest Russell Simmons like that straight away. As soon as one person comes forward, it says a lot about where America is in terms of the racial divide, socioeconomic divide as well. So
I know, right?
It says a great deal about what's going on in America.
How's he still eating his damn caviar?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is he still out on the streets? When it's not like with Simmons, where the people who have come forward are just normal people or people in the music industry. We're talking Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
We're talking
big
Rose McGowan,
McGowan.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, these women aren't someone that needs to come forward for the. You know how most skeptics.
Yeah.
At the moment, the Me Too movement. It's another thing I want to bring up later with you, is that we automatically believe the woman.
Yeah.
Straight away.
As we probably should as well.
See.
We should believe somebody when they say that. We should initially at least believe that what they're saying is true, to then investigate it further.
Well, see.
Instead of just playing it off going, they're all doing it for money.
But
these women who have come forward for Harvey Weinstein don't need to do it for their careers whatsoever. Don't need to do it to get money. They don't need to further their career. They're already established movie stars. Hey.
They are established movie stars, but before we go any further, I want to make a point, and what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Is that I understand where you're coming from. Being a woman myself, I've had many of these type of sexual, wolf whistling. I've had these types of dates. I'm not going to get into further details, but I've been there. I'm a woman.
Yeah.
But I also know women, and not all women are truthful.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Not all women have integrity, and not all women are going at it to help other women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's always good eggs and bad eggs. I'm not saying that we shouldn't believe them straight off from the bat, but we shouldn't condemn people based on allegations as well. Specifically, in my head, I'm thinking about Aziz Ansari in particular. I don't want to condemn him because of a story of a person who wants to stay anonymous. I don't think that's empowering if you want to hide behind the shadows and potentially ruin a man's career. Right? But that's what I just wanted to touch base, is that I'm not going to sit here and say that all women don't come forward because we're not going to believe you. Of course, there needs to be the trust that your allegation is going to be thoroughly investigated. I'm just saying that there are women out there who are not trustworthy people.
There are plenty of women out there who are not trustworthy. Yeah, that's right. So it's a very touchy issue, isn't it?
It is, because you're going to have people on either side.
Yeah, that's right.
No matter what we talk about, there's always going to be people with different opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, different backgrounds, different cultures, different countries, men, women, children, adults, teenagers. We're all going to have a completely different opinion based on the same experience. Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah. I do know what you mean, but I also think that the Me Too movement, what they've done to see the story, what started with all of the allegations against Harvey Weinstein, it then developed into a story about further women coming forward after that, about, actor after actor after actor. They've now turned it into the Me Too movement, where women can feel empowered to stand up against sexual misconduct and rape, which is really good, because there seems to be a big issue in Hollywood where actors don't feel comfortable coming forward. They hold it in within themselves for years and years and years.
Because I think the whole point about the Me Too movement was people of higher, like a boss and an employee who have power over that person. So that's the reason why they didn't come out, is because they felt like they'll never get work again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they hold that guilt of not coming forward and helping other women, and it's really disgusting. It's really, like, if you ever put in that position, if you think about it, guys, in your normal day life, your boss started sexually harassing you, showing his private parts, and he probably, most of the time, Harvey Weinstein's probably said, if you don't do this, you're not going to get a job in Hollywood. So imagine if your boss said that to you: if you do this, I'm not going to give you a reference.
Yeah. I'm
going to say all these bad things about you. I'm going to slander you. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any help from us. So what do you do?
Exactly.
You're in a really bad place.
Yeah, that's right. There's not a lot of places you can turn to. For support or anything like that. So what they're doing at the moment seems like it's really empowering people and helping people to come together and unify, which is really awesome. It's not just women. What Oprah said at the Golden Globes, she also included the fact that there's a lot of great and courageous men that are willing to come forward and step up and work to fight for that movement.
I'm glad you brought up men, because this is the thing, though. Did you hear about Ben Affleck?
I didn't hear about Ben Affleck, no, not yet.
This is how I came to know. I remember
Ben Affleck too?
Yeah, not too, but it's a very similar thing to Aziz Ansari, right? With, in particular, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I think also what Dave Chappelle's new comedian act that came out on Netflix, his special.
His
he
comedy
mentions
specials. Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
He's like, a lot of men are still too scared to go women empowerment and want to, because men want to support us.
Yeah, of course we do.
Men have wives, daughters, mothers, sisters, grandmothers, sisters. They have family too who are women.
Yep.
So when they come out and say, like Ben Affleck, for example, he's like, oh, I'm so glad that women in the entertainment industry, in terms of Hollywood, are coming forward. And then someone's like, oh yeah, but you touched my ass in 1995.
Yeah.
You can't talk.
Yeah.
And
so you can't criticize
so
anybody and can't because
you can't say you can't be with us because you touched some person's butt back in the day. And then he's just like, all right, I'm out. I'm not saying anything anymore.
Yeah.
That is why a lot of men aren't coming forward in terms of the Me Too movement.
Because they're worried about what people might say about them. Yeah.
Because heck, seriously, could you remember every single date, every single woman, every single time you went to the clubs?
That's right, exactly.
Can you remember everything that's ever happened? Can you say with a clear conscience that you've been like, you know, I've never really touched someone on the butt?
No,
of
course not. Everybody has. Everybody's done that. Anybody who's over the... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? I've pinched guys' butts before without even thinking, you know.
Well, they're not just as bad, but yeah, in the club and in the bars,
yeah, in the clubs, you're like getting down. Ooh, that's a nice butt pinch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I'm not sure, guys. Comment in the section below if you know the full story about Ben Affleck. But that's pretty much, in a nutshell, was that Ben Affleck was probably a bit of a wild boy when he first came out with Matt Damon. But when they first came out on the scene when they wrote Good Will Hunting, I'm assuming they were a bit cocky. All these women started noticing them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, plus with what was going on at Hollywood at the time, you know.
Yeah.
At least he didn't go out and rape people.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
He wasn't doing any real sexual assault that you could charge him with or anything like that. It was just kind of an accident.
It really depends, though, what you consider sexual assault, though.
That's right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's but
like I
he
said,
didn't go out and rape people.
Touchy issue.
He didn't do Hokawati.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know, it's just a lot of men aren't comfortable still to now to come forward and go, I'm with you women, or me too.
Yeah.
Because it's much harder for a guy to admit that they were raped, some sort of sexual, you know.
Slowly but surely it's getting better though. It is.
Is it?
I feel like it is. I feel like people are unifying.
Is it getting better?
I feel like something at least is being done, and it's a start. If you look at back this time last year, this wasn't even being discussed.
That's true.
It's only happened really in 2017 that all this sort of stuff has come out, and now it's kind of reached a boiling point where now it seems like Oprah Winfrey has stood up and made everybody aware of it at the Golden Globes, was what I referenced before, her speech, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And actually made people think that she was going to run for president because it was so good.
I don't know. I love Oprah and all, but she has no business being in the White House.
Yeah.
I love Oprah. She does a lot of volunteering. She helps a lot of people in Africa. She does a lot of making schools and education for girls. Also, sexually abused children, because she was sexually abused as a child. But I don't think that she should be in office. I think Bernie Sanders should be in office.
Me too, yeah.
I don't think she has any business. No famous person has any business, and you should think from how Trump's handled it.
We should actually, consider that politicians have been working their whole life
to be a politician,
to make the country better. Yeah, to make laws, to make to pass bills for everybody, and then as soon as it comes to a presidential debate or something like that, it seems like now we're looking towards TV stars and celebrities to lead the way, and I don't think that's the right way to go. I think that Oprah Winfrey at least would be a better billionaire TV star than Donald Trump, but versus, you know, a lot of candidates like Bernie Sanders, for instance, who I personally love as well. I would love to see somebody like that in the White House leading the free world.
Oh yeah. Because Australian politics is a little bit different to the American politics.
Yeah.
And Bernie has definitely proven himself for the younger generation actually back him 100%. And the way that Hillary Clinton just sideswiped him for candidate, and then not actually doing anything or going and trying to get the votes for the younger people who loved Bernie.
Exactly, yeah. It seemed like she wasn't picking up, she wasn't getting them encouraging people enough to come out and vote.
No, she didn't really inspire me.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't.
She didn't motivate me.
Yeah.
I know that I'm not an American and
we
all,
can't vote, but
we listen. We watch.
We witness it every day. We witness American news stories, and we keep up with, coverage of American politics every single day. So,
Yeah, we do. But it's just, I don't know. I don't think Oprah should run. But if it's a lesser of two evils, I would vote for Oprah.
Yeah, if it's Oprah versus Trump, yeah.
Yeah, but I would prefer it to be Bernie.
I would prefer it to be Bernie Sanders, yeah.
Come on, and get the man president, dude. It's like...
Bernie Sanders should be president,
He
honestly.
should be... He should. He should at least let the man be president before he dies.
Yeah, I know. I want to see the changes that he wants to make to Medicare.
He actually cares about the middle class and lower people. He cares.
I know, he does.
He
and
actually
he's been
does.
fighting for them his entire political career.
What was it that he
just
accepts?
wants people
$20?
to listen. Yeah, 27 I think was the maximum amount that you could give. And
donate to his campaign.
That's right. So to donate to his campaign, Hillary Clinton had the support of big banks and super PACs as they call them. So big amounts
rolling my eyes.
Big amounts of votes and money from corporations and Wall Street. But Bernie Sanders had the support of the people.
Yeah.
And I think he unified people and actually touched people's
He's like
hearts
our Judd,
with the way that he speaks. Yeah. Yeah. We had a politician very similar to that, Kevin Rudd, who became Prime Minister, I think it was 2007, so that's about a decade ago now.
Gillard.
And then kind of ruined his political career a couple of years later when, Julia Gillard took over and the Labour Party ditched him. But that's neither here nor there when we're talking about...
Only country in the world that says, we don't like our leader, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Exactly. We're going to put somebody else in there.
And then you can have the last couple of months of my term.
Yeah.
You can have it back. Here.
Exactly.
I'm done now. I stole your position. Everyone hates me for it. No one likes me, even though I did all the work.
So we need you to, before the election, we need you to run because we're going to lose so much.
We're going to lose our seat.
Yeah. So put him back in power to see if they can win see if they can win the election. It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
If you follow Australian politics, you would have kept up with that. Yeah. But anyway, so what were we talking about?
We were trying to talk about Aziz Ansari, yeah. This one is kind of, the way I read it was, it's a bit of a non-story. There's somebody anonymously went to Babe.net reporter Katie Way and to report on a story that she thought she had. It was kind of a sexual encounter with Aziz Ansari. They went back to his place after a date. She was saying that she had kind of a bad time and she was uncomfortable and not quite humiliated afterwards, but she was really uncomfortable. She was giving verbal and non-verbal cues that she wasn't interested, yet sexual encounter kept going on, that sort of thing. What was your take on it?
When I first heard about it, because I really, really love Aziz Ansari. He's one of my people, right? He would generally be a person I would want to hang around with in my normal life, right? Yeah. He'd be a friend that I would like. I'd like to have that type of person.
He seems pretty cool.
I love cocky people, I love confident people, and I love funny people. He's all of that, right? So when I heard about it, I'm like, oh no, not Aziz Ansari. And then I was like, please don't be Dave Chappelle. Yeah. Please, Dave, son. We can't lose you. We just got you. But anyway, when I heard about Aziz Ansari, I'm like, nah, this can't be right. But then I'm like, he is kind of cocky, and he does kind of say some of this stuff around like in his actual stand-ups.
Yeah.
But then I actually read what was said, and I'm like, she says what?
Yeah.
Her non-verbal cues. So what happened was last September, Aziz went on a date. They were at some Hollywood event, and he met a photographer who wants to stay anonymous. Her name is Grace. They swapped numbers, and then they went back to New York, and then they decided to meet up for a date. So they went on a date, and let me tell you, during this date, she said that she felt like she was rushed.
Yeah.
Right? Another thing that was said in the article that I thought had no relevance was that he ordered white wine.
And I wanted red wine.
And she wanted red wine. Okay. That's noteworthy for a report on sexual misconduct, but, you do you.
You've got a voice, you can actually speak up and say, hey, I want red wine, not white wine, but she was obviously judging him from that point onwards from the date.
So I'm guessing at that point, women are fussy, right? I'm fussy when it comes to my partners. I'm sure there's a lot of women out there, and then certain things tick you off when they don't meet your expectations.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that this woman expected Ansari to be a nice guy in thinking that his comedian act was an act. Do you know what? Someone doesn't get that popular and that famous. Being a coloured man, there's a lot of things going on with racism in America at the moment, but you have to have that cockiness to you. So I feel that is actually who he is.
Yeah.
He knows how he looks.
Yeah.
He knows what he looks like.
Exactly. He knows who he is.
He knows who he is. He ain't the hottest man in the block.
It seems to be like, when you read the story, it seems to go the way of what I would expect an Aziz Ansari date to go like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, we'll go back to my place, see what happens. Try to hook up with the chick. Seems like she's into it. She says she's not into it, or doesn't say anything but gives non-verbal cues.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Like in the article that I read, is that they went back to his place for a nightcap. Now, every girl that I have ever met or spoken to, because girls talk to each other about their dates, you would expect, if you're going to go on a first date, don't go for a nightcap.
Yeah.
Don't go to his place if you're not willing, or have the thought in the back of your head that I'm cool with either way. I'm either cool if we don't have sex, or I'm cool if there is a proposition of sex.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. Now, this girl is 23, right? She's not 17. She's not 18. She's not... Well, in Australia, it's classified that when you're 18, you're legally allowed to drink. So for us, an adult, for us, we see it as 18. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, that's
Do you
right.
see a girl at 18 as an adult?
Yeah, just.
Yeah, but
Just.
you
But
don't.
yeah,
you
that's
have
right.
no qualms of having sex with an 18-year-old because
Yeah.
she's an adult. In
Yeah,
our
that's
eyes,
right. In our...
Illegally, it's 16, isn't it?
I think
here?
the age of consent is 16, yeah.
In Australia,
but
I'm not
if
sure.
they're 18, definitely, yeah.
So 18,
Definitely.
like when you go to the clubs, most 18-year-olds do either look like they're 27. You're not too sure. But this girl, you're 23. You're dating a celebrity. You're on a first date. If he offers you to come back to his place,
Yeah.
are you only expecting kissing? Because if that's the only expectation that you have, that's probably somewhere where you'd like verbalize that. right?
Exactly, yeah, that's right.
I would never go back to a guy's place
Yeah.
if I wasn't, either way about it.
Yeah. I mean, do you just want to go there and watch TV or something? Why doesn't she say anything at any point prior to that? Like, not really interested in having sex with you. What is she there for? Is she kind of expecting to have just like a conversation and watch TV? And actually watch the Netflix and chill with no sex? She doesn't seem to verbalize any of this stuff. In the story, she says she just gives kind of verbal and non-verbal cues. So she says, no, I'm not really interested. Seems to pull away when they're when they're doing oral sex on each other, or he performed it on her and then wanted the same thing in return.
Well, I've got some actual quotes from the article.
Yeah, go for it.
This is what Gray says. Most of my discomfort was expressed in me pulling away and mumbling. I know I was physically giving off was that I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I don't think that was noticed at all, or if it was ignored. Now, this is a question for you though. If your impression of the date was good, she wasn't saying anything, she wasn't like actually mentioning that she was feeling uncomfortable at this point. She never said, let's hang out here for a little while.
Yeah.
Things are going too fast. Let's slow it down. Like if she gave you nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like, do you want to come upstairs? And she's like, yeah, sure.
You would think that something's on and that she's into it and that she wants to sleep with you.
I have to ask you an honest question, being biased aside. If a girl just went limp while you're kissing her, what would you think?
I would want to know what's going on. And like, she would look like she's not into it at that point. You know when somebody's into it when they're not. If they just go limp and then but you can also push somebody away or say something or, make some type of action to make it more clear cut so there's no grey area before anything happens. So, before your underwear comes off or something like that, you can actually say to him, no, I don't want to have sex, I don't want to do any of this sort of stuff, I'm not really comfortable. It doesn't seem like that was ever said at any point.
It wasn't. It was never said in the article.
Why wasn't she strong enough to do any of this stuff and she went home crying because, she had such an uncomfortable time on a bad date.
But here's the thing. I've got some more things here.
Right.
In the actual article itself, he went down on her. He performed oral sex on her, which she was fine with. But then when it was his turn, she got uncomfortable.
Yeah. She didn't want to do it. Yeah.
What? Like,
she didn't want to do it in return.
She said it at that point when he sat back and pointed to it like this.
Yeah.
And motioned to it, and she did it, but she felt uncomfortable. It's like,
who cares? Yeah. Why is that a story if you felt uncomfortable on a bad date and
what I'm
had
trying
bad
to
sex?
say is that he gave her oral sex first, and then she's like, oh, and then he expected me and pointed to my. I'm like, well, yeah.
That's normally the transaction. Yeah.
And usually, most of the time, after oral sex, it leads to something more,
It leads
penetration,
to real sex, yeah.
right? So at that point, she started feeling uncomfortable, but still gave him oral sex. And at that point, they started kissing, and then she's like, went mumbled, and then she went limp and gave him non-verbal cues. I don't know, I find that ridiculous.
Yeah.
As an adult, I'm like, you're not 3 years old. Is your mum going to tell him to stop? No, you need to be a powerful woman in the 21st century to say to a man when you're feeling uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up and put my clothes on and leave. Like,
yeah. Just say that.
Yeah,
just come out and say that stuff.
Then there wouldn't be this cause for confusion. Oh, he didn't see it, but it went unnoticed. Of course it went unnoticed.
He wasn't grabbing her and throwing her to the ground and keeping her there against her will. She was there willfully.
He called her an Uber. He called her an Uber.
And when they went to sat down and watch TV, she was unhappy and she was sad that he didn't play with her hair or give her a neck massage to make her feel better. Yeah.
To make her feel better.
What the hell kind of shit is that? That seemed to discredit the entire thing and make me laugh at this piece. Make me think that it was kind of silly. That's a really, really silly thing to say. As like after this has happened and you think something's uncomfortable, you're watching TV, you're unhappy that this guy that you're on a first date with doesn't play with your little hair.
The thing is, I don't want to victim shame or anything like that. When there is a legitimate sexual assault,
of course,
I'm for you. That should never happen. But when you are complaining about the type of wine he ordered, and then complaining that he's not playing with your hair and rubbing your back, this is a first date.
It's not sexual assault.
He don't know you.
Yeah.
I mean, many of my boyfriends never rubbed my back when I was angry or played with my hair.
You're probably with them
because
for
I didn't
years.
want them touching my weave. I'm like, don't be touching my hair. So how does he know that you know what I mean? A lot of girls don't like guys touching their hair. For example, a weave, right?
Yeah.
Especially in America, many girls are like, don't be touching my weave, don't be touching my wig, because if that shit falls off, I'm going to look like a bald baby.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, don't touch a girl's hair. So how is he meant to know that, one, you like red wine, two, you needed your back rubbed at that point, or you needed your hair rubbed with? If you were so uncomfortable, why did you expect that from him?
Yeah.
If you felt like it was a sexual assault, why are you asking your perpetrator, your assault person, you're the criminal, to rub your back?
Exactly.
No, for real, like...
Yeah, why would you expect
never want my rapist to rub my back or play with my hair.
At the time, if you thought it was a sexual assault, why would you want, somebody to comfort you?
Why would I want that? Why would I want my rapist to touch me at all?
Yeah, or to comfort you or anything. You'd want to leave and get the fuck out of there.
But did you see...
I know, it's
why
insane.
would you want your rapist to rub your back and play with your hair?
It doesn't make any sense.
It would make your skin crawl.
That's right.
But the fact that you expected him to do that meant that you were just disappointed he didn't do that, and this is porn revenge.
Yeah, revenge porn. It's really not sexual assault. It's not sexual misconduct. It's just a bad date, and like they've said, like that reporter Ashley Banfield came out and said, it's just 3,000 words of revenge porn, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's a totally worthless article. You went to the press anonymously to shame him. What did she actually say? The quote there was that you went to the press with a story of a bad date and you've potentially destroyed this man's career. That basically sums up the entire thing in a nutshell, and it's really well said.
Yep.
It does kind of hurt the Me Too movement because people are now talking about this type of...
it compromises it.
I call it crap, but because I see this story as such a low-quality non-story to begin with.
Because now people are talking about this story and not the ones that
matter.
Are actually rapists, serial rapists.
Yes, yeah.
Who use their power to manipulate women into doing sexual things for their pleasure.
Yeah.
Using them, objectifying women for their own sexual desires.
Yeah.
I really don't feel as though Aziz Ansari was anything like Weinstein.
No,
right?
he's not even in the same
It was a bad
league.
date.
Yeah.
It was untasteful. Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean...
Seems to be bad for her. According to him, it was all good and it was consensual. But...
It was consensual until
Yeah.
she verbalized. She said in her article, I said no. He went, oh, okay,
he
sorry.
totally stopped.
I'll call you an Uber.
Yeah.
Then he reached out to her first the next day. He goes, how was everything today? Because he felt a bit weird about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was so uncomfortable. I went home crying. Tra la la la.
I want you to
it
know
was the
that-
worst. I can't believe this happened. And he's just like,
And he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that actually was how you felt.
Yeah.
So it's really just a breakdown of communication. So just make it clear, girls, guys, women, men. If you don't want to have a sexual partner or any sexual activity with another human being, say no.
You've got a mouth, you've got a voice.
Yep.
Be strong and say no. That's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do. And if you feel some weird tension between the person that you want sexual activity with, are you okay? That's all you gotta do. You gotta ask them, are you okay? And hopefully that person says, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully it's all good if they say no and stop and make sure that everything's amicable between everybody. And I can't believe we're sitting here telling people how to have sex, but you know,
I know,
feels
right?
like it.
That's
It
so
feels like
stupid.
we're
It's
trying to
like
give sex
dumb.
ed. Yeah, this is
Why
what
we-
this is what this sort of journalism and this sort of article does.
That's
Is that
got-
it changes
I
the
never heard of
conversation.
Babe. Who calls the... what do you call it?
Babe.net.
Babe.net.
Yeah. Journalist, quote unquote, Katie Way wrote the story and then got slammed by Ashley Banfield, who is a really, really respected journalist in the industry.
We'll do another video on that one though.
Yeah.
We won't
For
get
another
into
time,
it.
yeah.
We'll do another time. We've spoken a lot about this.
That could be a tease for another time.
That could be for our next video.
Yeah.
But like, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to victim shame. I'm not saying that there's women out there that do feel this way. I've had this exact scenario right in Australia, but if I don't feel comfortable, I just say it. Do you know what I mean? I just say it without any second thought, because we've always been taught, right? No means no. And in Australia, we have commercials. It's like, no means no.
That's right.
Right? I don't know what happens in America or any other countries that may be watching this, but you know, there's no clearer question. No means no.
Yeah.
Right?
Too easy.
It's too easy. You would have avoided all of this this feeling of being sexually assaulted if you had just said no.
I think it's the most reasonable thing that anybody thinks, and I think that most reasonable people would read this story and think it was kind of silly and that she probably should have just made it more clear. At the end of the day, yeah, you do need to be strong, you do have a voice, don't be scared, say no, and basically that should be it.
Yeah, no means no, but again, I really do feel for this girl, even maybe she is super sensitive.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of sensitive people out there. I just hope that she's got a little bit more confidence and she gets the help that she needs.
Yeah, that's right.
Because if she does, she might have post-traumatic stress syndrome. You don't know. She might have PTSD.
Yeah.
She might not ever want to open up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel sorry for you and I hope that you get the help that you need.
Me too.
Anyway, comment below. And again, thank you so much for coming in
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Draco.
It's been amazing, yeah.
I'll put a link in the description for his channel. Let's try and get him to start making some videos again, eh? Anyway.
I'll do my best, yeah.
Alright, thanks guys. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.